Hello, good morning. Welcome to our daily thought. Sorry it's a little bit late today, but we're going to continue with our reading of Luke's Gospel. We're nearly finishing Luke 18 today, although there's one more little passage that John will finish off tomorrow. But yeah, Luke 18:31 to 34 is what I'm going to read from today. So if you've got a Bible, I think it's always good to read along, and if not, then that's fine. So Luke 18:31 to 34, it says this. Jesus took the 12 aside and told them, "We are going up to Jerusalem, and everything that is written by the prophets about the Son of Man will be fulfilled. He will be turned over to the Gentiles. They will mock him, insult him, spit on him, flog him, and kill him. On the third day, he will rise again." The disciples did not understand any of this. Its meaning was hidden from them, and they did not know what he was talking about. Morning, Matt. So yeah, I think we would probably all be aware of this story in terms of Jesus telling his disciples again about his death that was about to happen. And it says there that the disciples didn't know what he was talking about. And I sometimes read that and go, I wonder why the meaning was hidden from them. And there's probably lots of reasons as to why God decided that. I think that one of them would have probably been the disciples would have done all that they could to have protected Jesus. If they'd have known the truth in what Jesus was saying, that he was going to actually be arrested and actually killed, they would have thought that was so ridiculous to think that Jesus would happen to Jesus. But if they knew that it was true, they may have gone about their own ways to stop that from happening and really trying to protect Jesus. And not to say that God wouldn't have allowed the death to occur, but it might have caused more issues if the disciples had known as to why that is. But secondly, in terms of how we can relate to that, sometimes things happen that we just don't understand, and we'll never understand, and we'll never actually grasp hold of because we're not God. And I think often we are made to feel like we should be God, or we should know what God says, or we should know what God means. And maybe our non-Christian friends might challenge us in that by saying, oh, why does this happen? Why does that happen? Why can you do that? Why can't you do that? Why does God allow bad things to happen to good people? And all these kinds of questions. Sometimes the simple answer is, you know what? I'm not God, so I can't answer that. I don't understand all things. And the disciples in this situation would have probably been like, what's he talking about? What does he mean? Why is he saying these things? They'd witnessed his miracles. They'd witnessed how amazing he was as a teacher, and probably thought they were going to be with him for many, many, many years to come. But he was telling them that his time was coming to an end. And that would have no doubt have upset them, even if they didn't quite understand what he meant. But I want to encourage you today to trust God, even if you don't quite understand why things are happening, or why certain things are allowed to happen, or why you're feeling the way that you are, or experiencing what you are. I want to encourage you today that God is in control. He knows what he's doing at all times, and he just wants us to trust him sometimes, and that's all we can do. So yeah, have a great day, be blessed, and have a good Friday, whatever you might be doing, and we'll see you at 12 o'clock today for some live prayer with Meg, and at 10 o'clock tomorrow for our continuing of our daily thoughts. Have a great day.